What is your story if you
My story?
if you think back?
It was murder. There was nothing glorious in the Battle of Normandy. Germans had been here 4 years, and they didn't want to get out of it either. Lots of my mates were blown to bits. Some people reckon they was clearing mines from the beach. That's all nonsense. The mines were cleared by Hobart's funnies. General Percy Hobart, in his genius, had tanks with flail chains on them that went up and made the passage so men coming off the landing craft should be able to walk in more or less safety. But of course there's a lot of booby traps there. You must understand the Germans been here 4 years and they weren't going to give up no ground if they could help it. But they didn't know we was going to land in Normandy, so they weren't really prepared.
They were surprised.
Yeah, we surprised them a bit there. And it was wonderful to think that so many spies who reckoned they knew all about what was going on didn't realise where we were going to land. When I helped to make the bridgehead in Annals, and it was murder. And we had the guns firing from the boats. We had the Germans firing in front of us. So I don't really, and I told the Memorial Trust the same when I was talking to them on the beach here. We did a programme called Songs of Praise with Alan Jones, and that's to be broadcast in England on the 9th of June, this coming Sunday. But I was unable to forget what I saw because I was only 18 when I came over here. And that terrible scene has haunted me for 75 years. When I heard about the memorial being erected on Gold Beach, I thought, about time too, 75 years. The Americans got a big, lovely cemetery at Omaha. The Canadians have got one at Juneau. But there's not any memorial to the British who landed on sword and gold.
What do you think about that?
They are very, very sad. There are many, that's pretty English, there are many individual memorials, like the one at Annals for Company Sergeant Major Hollis. Hey, and he only won the only VC on D-Day. Everybody in that army should have been awarded the VC. There was many, many heroes that done things that nobody knows about. Like my mate, he's dead now. He only died a couple of years ago. He was in the South Wales borders. They was going up through the trees there. And his mate, Jones, and he had to give his number, 36, because as you know in Wales there's many Joneses. And Mr Evans, I always call him Evans, he went over to support his mate who got hit by shrapnel. But he died anyway. But he tried to stop the bleeding in his face. That's another thing that haunts me. He tried to stop the bleeding, and he couldn't do that. And in the end, he had to leave him. And that's another thing that hit me too. In England today, you can't see a doctor. There ain't no things as doctors.
Yeah. Things have changed.
But when I was there, all you had to do was shout, medic, and he was there.
Yeah.
Stretcher bearer, he was there. But anyway, I went right the way through France, and I went into Belgium on the 3rd and 4th of September. We liberated Belgium, or Brussels, and now they're telling me what to do. We conquered the Germans twice. They started all these wars because their motto and their belief is to have world domination. Mm-hmm. And they got it because we won the war, but they won the peace. And they're telling me what to do. Mm-hmm. So everybody with any sense would vote Brexit. Our Lord said when the children of Israel went into the promised land, and he promised the children of Israel, but he didn't want them to go in with these people because they were pantheists. They worshipped God many. The Israelites were monotheistic. They only worshipped one God. And the Almighty didn't want them to intermarry and have any league with these people in Canaan.
If we have a picture over here.
Yes.
Who's that?
That's me when I was 18.
18 years old.
And I've always been with a mind like that. I was in hospital for 2 years trying to forget this. In the end, after 2 years in the hospital at Dartford in Kent, they said, I can't help you because you've got too vivid a memory, and I can't help that.
How are you doing right now?
Me, every time I come here, it's very sad. I remember all of it comes back to me. It's very emotional because so many died for nothing.
And how do you think about the fact that now, 74, 75 years later, we still remember and pay attention to what freedom means? What do you think about that?
Well, we ain't exactly got a load of freedom. If I said half what I'd like to say, I'd be arrested. But I've got a medal here from the Americans. That is the American Peace Medal. And it says on there, freedom of speech. But you can't say what you mean or mean what you say. That's the trouble. There's no real freedom. You're tied up with laws and rules that other silly buggers make, particularly politicians.
But still, we have to inform the youth about liberation, about what happened. That's very important.
Well, they didn't do much of that in England. Not very many people heard about that D-Day land is there. They don't teach them anything. I had to go round the schools and talk to them about it. Yeah. I've been to many schools and spent some very happy hours with the children. But they're very difficult to listen. Nobody can understand D-Day unless you were there. Oh, there's no words to explain murder, because that's what it was.